Hello and welcome to ACES Golf, and today's video I'm going to give a little bit of an insight into what I think you should be looking out for in 2025. Now, I've been doing this channel now for a couple of years, 2.5 years I think to be precise. This year I've done 74 reviews of equipment, including some other videos as well, some versus videos, and that's not including all the reviews I did in 2023. So I've got really quite a strong insight now in the brand new market, the second hand market, what clubs do well out there, what clubs don't do well, and what clubs you should maybe avoid, basically from my point of view, being that lower handicap player, so still very much your average golfer. And so I thought I'd go through sort of each category, driver, fairway wood, etc. today, have a little chat about what I think you should maybe be picking up next year if you're looking to change that sort of piece of equipment, and maybe what you should be avoiding, and also what I'm looking forward to in 2025. Now, first things first, let's start off with the drivers. Now, for me, technology with drivers really hasn't changed that much. We know it hasn't changed because they're not allowed to change it because of rules and regulations, etc. Don't get me wrong, they're pushing all this 10k drivers, this year really maximum forgiveness, which they got, can do, and it's definitely something that has improved over the last couple of years, that MOI. But remember, the Ping G400, back in 2017, I want to say, or it might be a bit later than that actually. That was just under 10k. The Ping G425, if you put the heavyweight in the fade setting, G425 Max into the fade setting, was actually touching 10k itself there. No one mentioned it at the time. So these drivers have been around or close to that forgiveness level before this sort of big push this year. So of course next year, the new drivers, there's really not going to be that much difference between the current models and the new models coming out. So that's why I think a great idea for next year, if you want to go and get yourself a new driver, is go and get yourself fitted for this year's model. So get yourself fitted for a 2024 model in the 2025, because personally I'm currently playing this bad boy, the Dark Speed LS, because I'm getting my swing speed up, and it's an absolute beast. Do I think the new Cobra Adapt or DS Adapt is going to be any better than this? I think it's going to look different. Do I think it's going to perform any differently? I doubt it. Maybe the forgiveness might be a little bit more, because this Dark Speed LS really doesn't have that much forgiveness, believe me. I don't think it's going to be a huge difference. Am I going to notice it out on the golf course? Most likely not. Tour professionals, yes, they might notice a difference, but then even tour professionals, you still see them playing the older models. The only reason a lot of these guys like Rory, etc., have the brand new models in each year is because they're paid to do it by TaylorMade. TaylorMade can't have Rory playing with a Stealth 2 from a couple of years ago. If he does that, people are going to be, well, why am I buying a new QI10 or the next new QI35, I think it's going to be next year or something. So, they need him and they pay him to put the new clubs in the bag. And then half the time, those drivers they're using, you can't pick up anyway because they've got hot glue in them and they've changed the mass around and stuff like that. So they don't even perform like the drivers on the shelf. So don't feel you have to go out and buy a brand new 2025 driver. Believe me, you're going to get the same performance in the 2024 one. You really are, especially your average golfers. When it comes down to, if you had the same driver for 3-4 years, then yeah, maybe you will get a big jump up, but not because of the driver technology, but probably because if you got fitted 3-4 years ago, your swing isn't the same now. So if you go and get fitted now, you're going to see an improvement because you've been fitted to a club that's going to suit you better because your swing has changed from 3-4 years ago. If you got fitted for that old club again, you'd probably find that even the old club will give you extra performance as well. So do be aware of that. Don't feel you need to go out and buy the brand new model next year. That's my little tip. And I'm pretty sure if you've watched a lot of the other YouTubers and a lot of the review guys out there, they'll be saying the same thing. I mean, you read half the reviews from like Golf Monthly. There's a few others out there as well. My Golf Spy, I want to say, they always say minimal performance extra from previous year. They all say it. If you've got a driver that's over 10 years old, yes, I would probably suggest go and get a new driver, but there you go. So yeah, so don't be fooled to going and buying a brand new driver. I've done versus videos. We're putting old drivers against each other. I mean, I took the Dark Speed X version of this and put it against an old, I've forgotten the name of it now, but an old Cobra driver. It's on the channel, so you can go and check that out. It was recently out on the channel actually. And the old Cobra driver won. It was just better for me. Just Fly Z Plus driver. There you go. That one. You know, one for me. It actually performed better than the X did. So it just shows you, you know, if you get the right club in your hand, it can be 5, 8, 6, 7 years old, and it can perform better than having the brand new stuff in if it's not really suited for you. So do be aware of that. Going into, if you are looking for older drivers or stuff like that next year, brands I think you should possibly look at. Strixon, 100%. Their second-hand stuff does not do well, especially over in the UK. So have a look for those ZX Mark II, so ZX5 Mark II, ZX7 Mark II. You know, I tried the, I'm trying to find the beginning of the year last year. They had a ZX5 LS Mark II. That was a fantastic driver, and it goes cheap on the second-hand market because people don't think of it. So yeah, Strixon, have a look at that. Cleveland as well in the second-hand market. You know, the Launcher XL2. I'm not sure about this new highball they just released, but the Launcher XL2, you know, Cleveland always been thought about very forgiving drivers for your slow swing speed. That XL2 actually, you know, the majority of golfers can use that and get good performance from it. So have a look at that as well on the second-hand market, or even brand new. To be fair, same with the Strixon. You know, that is now going to be replaced next year, so you're going to be able to pick them up even cheaper, brand new. And if you want to go really save your money and you want to get close to that 10k, as I said, the Ping G400 Max is a perfect option. But do be aware it does spin a little bit more than your sort of more modern drivers. Your faster swing speed players out there might not quite suit you. But then go and get your your Ping G425 Max and put that weight in the fade setting. Boom, you got yourself a 10k driver. So there you go. And if you're looking for cheap drivers that are going to go a mile, look at your old M TaylorMades, all the Sims. Look at the TaylorMade Sim 2. That was an awesome driver, the Sim 2 Max. You know, look at your M2s, your M4s, your M6, which is very forgiving and long. You know, there's lots of options out there to have a look out for your TaylorMade as well if you want to save some money. And if you want adjustability, you know, your M3s, your M5s with that movable weight is a great option as well. And also, don't forget to not look at Mizuno's. Over the past few years, Mizuno has been producing some really, really good drivers. You might be shocked actually how well they perform. So I think anything up from the ST200 up is really, you know, have a look at them. They go cheap. You know, a lot of people don't think of them. I played the STX a couple of years ago, and it felt great and it performed really great. That's their draw bias one. The ST Max as well is a great driver. So yeah, lots of options for you there, guys. I realise I've gone on a little bit too long, even in the driver bit. So do bear with me. I'll try and push through the other ones a little bit quicker. What I'm personally looking forward to next year when it comes down to driver category, don't get me wrong, I've already mentioned that drivers aren't necessarily, you know, they're not changing. They really don't. But I am looking forward to the new Cobras coming out. I think they look awesome. And the new QI looks amazing from what I've seen. Do I think they're going to perform any better? No, as I've just mentioned, but they do look good. So I wouldn't be surprised if I wasn't playing a new Dark Speed next year, just for the vanity of the fact that it looks really good. So there you go for drivers. Now, moving on to fairway woods. Fairway woods are even more like drivers. You know, they barely changed over the years. I remember watching a Peter Finch video, which I'm sure you guys will know about, and he was doing a build a bag for one of his sort of lower handicap colleagues, and he put a TS3 fairway wood in it. And they said, well, why are you not gone for the TSR? And he was like, well, fairway woods have not changed over the past couple of years. There's no performance difference between this TS3 and this TSR3, and I personally prefer the TS3, so that's why I've stuck in there. It just shows you, you know, there really hasn't been any difference. And a prime example of this, I do have all these clubs around me for this video, so bear with me, is this. So I've had this in the bag recently, the QI10 3-wood. You know, obviously, as you expect, great forgiveness, great distance, and what you would get from a TaylorMade fairway wood. Had the Stealth 2 in the bag last year. Can't notice any difference with them. I really can't, you know, unless I put them together head to head, then maybe I could do. But for my memories of the Stealth 2 and this, apart from the looks, they both perform just as well as each other in my mind. If anything, I think I actually prefer the Stealth 2 over this, which just shows you everything. You don't need to go out and buy brand new. But, you know, obviously with these clubs, you know, they are looking brand new, and yeah, so people will still pick them up. But yeah, don't be fooled into that. Highlights for me, I think when it comes down to if you want to go brand new, again, just look at the older models. You know, that QI10 is going to be dropping next year. You know, your TSRs now out there, great adjustability. Your TSRs, you can pick them up, you know, pretty cheap, brand new at the moment. Same with your pings. You know, they're going to change. Pings tend to hold their value. So TSRs, to be fair, in the second-hand market. But if you're looking brand new with the new models coming out, you can get them for a steal. So keep your eye out for them. If you're looking into the second-hand market, now I think anything old TaylorMade. You know, your M2s. If you want that sort of M2s, again, sorry, I keep on saying TaylorMade M2s. TaylorMade, you know, the M6s. You know, your TaylorMade Sims, Sim 2. I mean, all those fairways are fantastic, really perform. If you really want to save your money, go and get Adams. You know, they perform really, really well for those fairway woods, even though they're a couple of years old. You know, sort of look around the 2014 ones, so the ones just before they got taken over by TaylorMade. Can't remember the exact name, I think XTD or something, but they were great. They still go. I mean, I had one in the bag at the beginning of the year, just over winter. Still went massive. You know, it's good fun to hit, good forgiveness, good launch. You know, and they only go for about what, £40, $50. So really good options there. Again, if you're looking into that fairway wood market and the second-hand market, Mizuno, great fairway woods again, a little bit cheaper. Mizuno STG Titanium, that is a fantastic, better players fairway wood there with adjustability. Have a look at that. That's great fun. I actually had that in the bag for a while. And also Strixon again tend not to do well, even though their fairways have been fantastic over the past couple of years. You know, those brands are really, really good. So again, keep your eye out for them in the second-hand market if you're looking for it. Those are sort of the tips. You know, Strixon, Mizuno's. Look at them. Don't feel they're not the ones. You know, do have a look. And if you want to go TaylorMade and save yourself some money, you can go old school. I mean, if you want adjustability, you know, the M3, the M5. Tiger Woods been using M3, M5s for years. Is he the M3? I can't remember. I think he's still got the M3 in the bag, or it might be the M5, one of the two. You know, they're really, really good. The Sim Titanium, for some reason, doesn't do that well in the second-hand market. Well, no, the Sim 2 Titanium, sorry, doesn't do that well in the second-hand market. That's an absolute monster fairway wood. I don't think you're going to get any more distance out any other fairway wood out there, to be honest. So, yeah, those are sort of the tips for fairway woods. What am I looking forward to for fairway woods next year? Not a huge amount, to be honest. You know, very much the same thing as as it comes down to, as it comes down to the drivers. I think Mizuno, if they release another fairway wood, I might like to try that because I do think Mizuno's fairway woods feel lovely and I do like the look of them. So if they release a new one, might like to get my hands on that. Wilson, new Dynapower range coming out, love to get my hands on that as well because the Dynapower this year was really good. And that goes for the driver as well, to be fair. It was a lot of fun to hit. Alright, now on to hybrids and your driving irons. So you've just seen a review that I've done of this. Goes like the wind, good forgiveness in it, just shows, and you know what was I saying, like £50-60 to pick one up. You don't need to go brand new for hybrids if you're looking for them. You know, if you want a decent hybrid, Adams again, have a look at that on the second-hand market. They are great. TaylorMade and go all the way back to the M2s, as I mentioned. Again, they are great all the way up. You want that adjustability, they're better players, then sort of look at the Plus models from TaylorMade, like the Stealth 2 Plus was really good. The Sim 2 Plus, you know, that was actually a really, really good hybrid that a lot of people want. You want maximum distance, you look at the TaylorMade Sim Max. That thing was just huge, and it still will be absolutely huge. Brands to try that you might not think of, again, Mizuno, it's the same sort of factor here, really. Mizuno, you know, Strixon again, Cleveland to get up in the air, you know, maybe they're high woods if you've got a slower swing speed, or you just want, you know, something that's in the middle, gives you good distance and really good forgiveness, try that. And then also another club that I have reviewed as well, the Pink G430 hybrid. That thing was in my bag. I'd taken it out actually recently for a TaylorMade, but that thing, just because I wanted to change, not because I thought it wasn't performing well at all. That thing is awesome, and with the new G440 come out next year, you should be able to pick up that thing for cheap. And that was literally one of the best hybrids for the past 2 years. Forgiveness, workability, adjustability, you know, forgiveness. It was just immense. It really was enough. Longest club I had in the bag for ages. I've literally only taken it out because I wanted to put something new in it, new in the bag something different, just because I do this channel, I try so many clubs, I like to change up every now and again. But believe me, I'm probably going to wish I haven't, because it is that good. So top tip for hybrids next year is the G430 Max. Try and get that second hand. What am I looking forward to next year when it comes down to new releases? Want to see what the new TaylorMade looks like. If it looks like anything like the drive, it's going to look awesome. And I want to see how Ping Kang move on from the G430 Max. I don't think it was even called the G430 Max. Was it just a G430 hybrid? The G440 hybrid, is it going to be? I mean, I don't think they can improve it. I think it could be exactly the same. So if I get my hands on one of them to try for the channel, that'll be really interesting to see. Moving on to utility irons. Utility irons are utility irons. Again, brands to think of. Wilson have been doing some really good utility irons recently, so have a look at that. Obviously, you've got your TaylorMade, so just smashing it. It's definitely worth a look there. In the second-hand market, but they tend to hold their value in the second-hand market. Srixon, the ZX Mark II utility iron was fantastic. I reviewed this year. One of the best utility irons I've ever used. So don't again get little blown into these new utility irons. You can get the older stuff still and really get it to perform. New for 2025. I'm looking forward to trying to get my hand in the Wilson one, actually. Really want to do that. And also tips, pings, crossovers. If you're looking for utility iron, amazing. I've got the I crossover. I mean, I had the G410 in there, crossover as well. Can't really tell much of a difference. They're both exactly the same, and we're just as good as each other, to be fair. It's just the other one had a little bit of a sleeker look. New I crossover. So look at Ping, because they are fantastic. Okay. Moving on to irons. So what do I suggest for irons in 20? This video is going to be hours long, isn't it? Sorry for this. Well, maybe you're enjoying watching it anyway. Irons. So if you're looking for brand new irons next year, look at Wilson. It doesn't even have to be brand new. In the second-hand market, look for Wilson. Their blades are one of the best blades out there. Their cavity backs as well are fantastic. If you want your player's distance iron, look at the forged. The Wilson D9 Forged is out there. It's pretty cheap at the moment. That is a fantastic club. The Wilson the Wilson Dynapower Forged, again, amazing player's distance iron. Looks the part, feels the part, etc. Have a look out for that. I'm assuming it's going to replace next year at some point. Don't know when, but that's going to be a great club. And nearly went in my bag this year, actually. I haven't got my hands on one yet to test, but I want to, because it's definitely a club that potentially could go into my set. So there you go. Wilson, for me, is the brand if you're looking for irons and you want to save yourself a bit of money. If you're looking for the best performance, then I think Mizuno cover across the board with their JPX lineup that's just come out. Also with the JPX lineup. These things, so the Force I just reviewed, 923s, are going for nothing. I think it was like £600, £700 in the UK at the moment, full set 5 pitch and wedge. Go and buy now, because that is an insane price for this iron. Player's distance, it's an amazing iron, it really is. Be warned though, the newer clubs you're getting, the more even all of them are doing, they're jacking up the weight. The reason is because they're trying to increase the forgiveness. They're moving the mass around, so it's launching the ball higher. Because if the loft is quite weak, it just means it just goes up and doesn't go anywhere. So it is helping, but be aware it spins lower. So if the shot isn't quite right, or if it's summer, the green's quite hard, it might roll off the back and not stay there dead, even though it's gone like that and then come down like a rock. So do be careful with the newer ones. Personally, I like weaker lofts. I tend to go for the older irons just because of that, and still get great performance. You've lots of JPX hot metals out there. JPX 921s, hot metal pros, great sort of game improvement irons, but look a lot smaller, a lot sleeker, perform really well. Also Cleveland. If you starting into the game, have a look at Cleveland irons. Even next year, the new stuff. One club as well that you can look at, which I think are great, which are my new clubs that are in the bag. I've been mentioning the potential of these for a while. ZX5 Mark II, fantastic, one of the best irons out there. These are going to be cheap next year because you've got the new model coming out, so definitely keep your eye out on the ZX Mark II range. Definitely worth a look in the second. Well, look brand new. If you want to go and get yourself fitted, go and get yourself fitted for these. You know, because a new model is going to come out next year, and they're going to be a lot cheaper. And like these, the ZX5 Mark II, there's not going to be much of a difference between this and the new model. You know, the whole reviews about this were fantastic, really good irons. Not much difference between this and the ZX5. So there you go. Iron wise, what am I looking forward to in 2025? Honestly, looking forward to seeing what the new Strixon, how that performs, to be fair. And if it is a massive improvement for the ZX5 Mark II, because I don't think it can be. I really don't think you're going to be able to improve that much with the technology and stuff you're doing at the moment. You know, one brand I might say potentially to maybe not look at. I think the P790s. P790s are great. They're the beautiful hollow ironed irons from like TaylorMade. They're fantastic. But there's so many other options out there at the moment. So do keep your eye out. You know, Mizuno Pro options, that hollow, hollow sort of iron out there. You know, Ping do a great one. Cobra, look at Cobra irons, brand new or second hand. You know, they do some really good stuff as well. So especially, you know, if you're looking for really game improvement irons, actually look at like the LTDX model from a couple of years ago, Cobra. You know, that's so cheap now, and that thing just absolutely flies. Gives you all the forgiveness in the world. You know, so there you go, Cobra. Don't be scared to try these direct to brands. You know, Tacoma, stuff like that. All these stuff now. You've got so many good options for irons out there at decent prices. So there you go for the iron section. Now on to wedges. What do I want to say about wedges? Don't feel you always have to go for a Vokey. Get this. Cleveland RT6, RTX6 zip core. It's my current chipper in my bag. Feels great, spins insane, and they're currently under £100 in the UK, and they look the business as well. Yes, people just go Titleist. You don't have to. Cleveland make great wedges. TaylorMade great wedges. You know, keep your eye out for those sort of brands. They definitely coming in price, down in price. The new ones coming out next year. And with wedges, out of nearly everything, the grooves can't be any deeper. They can't be any sharper. They've got all these regulations that can't increase the spin. So you can go for this RTX 6, or you can go for an RTX 4, or whatever the other older ones are. You know, if it's in good condition, if the grooves are clean, you're going to get just as good performance as an average golfer than this, or even your scratch golfers and stuff like that. You know, some of the best professionals out there are still using older wedges because they just like the feel of them. You know, it's very much what you like the feel of. Don't feel you need to go and buy a Vokey. Vokeys are best. You know, well, I wouldn't say necessarily the best, but Vokeys are the best, one of the best wedges out there. They're tool proven. Lots of people love them, but it might not work for you. So don't feel you've got to go and spend a premium when you got things like Cleveland out there, which have been producing some of the best wedges for years, and you know, TaylorMade MGs as well. You know, don't be fooled to go and buy Vokeys. Do give these other wedge brands a chance. And Wilson Staff actually been doing pretty good stuff with their wedges. And TaylorMade, you know, I've got MG4 and I've actually got the MG3 in there as well. Used to play the MG2s. I can see no difference apart from looks between all of them. So again, you don't need to go brand new as long as these bad boys grooves are good. So if you're going brand new, I'd say look at the RT6, RTX6, always miss out the X for Cleveland. If you're going old or second hand, look at Cleveland. Cleveland tend to keep their money quite well. But I go TaylorMade MGs, MG2. The price of them aren't, you know, they're not that strong. If you get one in good shape, it's not going to cost you a lot of money, and you're going to get really good performance from it because it is a TaylorMade club. So there's my little tip there. What am I looking forward to next year out of the new stuff? The new Cleveland. To be honest, I've seen little photos of it. It looks immense. Do I think it's going to perform any better than this? No. But the looks, it does look really insane. So yeah, Cleveland. Now on to the final bit. About 3 hours later. Yes, and I've been talking quite quickly as well. So if you followed me on the whole way through, congratulations. Putters. So putters. Just dropped one of the clubs there. Putters. The whole thing this year has been, well, back end of this year, is that zero torque, face, lie, balance, and all this sort of stuff. The idea of the putter you have in your hands and you swing and it won't move, and it's the trend of all trends, because Lab over the past couple of years has taken the putting world by storm. And I play a Lab. I play the Lab men's Mes.1. I absolutely love it. I love the way it performs. I love the feel of it. I love the looks of it. Even though, some might not say it looks nice. I love it. But do I think you need to go and buy a Lab putter or one of these lie angle, one of these zero torques? I mean, PXD are doing one at the moment, the Allen. You've got Callaway have just come out with them as well on their AI models. I'm assuming Ping will probably be coming out soon with them. Scotty, I don't know if Scotty will. It's a bit different, Scotty. They've got their whole market with them and everything like that. So it'd be interesting if they do or say they do. One of the best putters I actually reviewed this year was an old Scotty Cameron Caliente. I got behind me. So well balanced. That's like pre-2000s. It was so much fun to use. You could go in the bag any time, really, to be honest. And that just shows you, don't get swallowed by this whole zero torque. It might not work for you, and you might be spending a lot of money for them. These Lab putters, they don't come cheap, and they don't go cheap second hand either. Don't be fooled by it. Don't get me wrong, they're great. I really enjoy using them, and a lot of tour players use them. But a lot of tour players don't use them. When it comes down to putters, they're not paid to, majority of tour players aren't paid to put in, that brand's putter. They tend to put in what they want. So don't be fooled by them. Try other putters. I mean, I've just done a review recently of the Adams putter. This one, which is basically a yes putter because Adams came back. There you go. I really enjoy this, and I'm not going to lie, performance-wise, even though it's not a 1-0 tour putters, that could go in my bag very, very easily, and I'd be very happy with it. So yeah, don't fall into that trap. Yes, they are very good, and yes, you might find they're perfect for you, but don't be scared to try other putters. Don't think, right, I need to spend £400, £500 or $500 on these, these zero tour putters. Give some other putters a chance. You might find that they work just as well or even better than those zero tour ones and save you a little money. If you're looking to buy a putter next year and you want to save yourself some money, Zebra, I've tried a few of their putters this year. Really good. I want to get my hands on the mill one actually. They're cheap. Well, not cheap. Well, yeah, they do sell. So one of their models were going for under £100. They don't do that one in the second market, and they're good. I really enjoyed it. It felt premium. The grip was nice. The head cover was good. The looks were good, and it performed really, really well. Really enjoyed the roll in that insert. So do look at Zebra next year. If you want to really budget and save your money, get Yes. Yes. I mean, they're becoming a little bit rarer now, but still, Yes, you can pick them up for £30, so $40, the second-hand market. They perform amazingly well. They look good. They perform well. They've got a bit of a cult following as well, so quite a cool thing to have in your bag, a decent Yes putter if it's in good condition. So, yeah, have a look at Yes if you really want to save your money and have a really high-performing putter. So there you go. What am I looking forward to next year, putter-wise? Always looking forward to looking at Scotty Cameron stuff coming out. I do have a little soft spot for Scotty, even though I haven't played him for a while now. Looking forward to seeing what the other brands do. TaylorMade, brought out a really, really fancy putter this year. Their TP reserves. I wonder how they're going to build on that because I really enjoyed it, even though they didn't do that well. So we'll see how they progress with that. They might not do next year, but maybe the year after. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing the Cleveland stuff, the Wilson stuff. These cheaper putters that these guys are bringing out are really good and winning a lot of awards. So it's interesting to see what they do next year as well. Alright guys, now a very long video for you, just giving you an insight really of things I've noticed while doing this channel and what I think you should be looking for potentially in 2025 when looking in the second-hand market or brand new clubs. And I probably taught a little bit too much, but never mind. It tends to be my videos a little bit long. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you think there's a club that people should be looking for in 2025, old, new, weird, whatever, do leave it down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear. Perhaps I might even pick that up next year to do a review for it as well for the channel. Also, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And do remember to hit that subscription button so you do not miss out on even more reviews probably next year, and more videos as well, some different content hopefully coming in 2025. Alright guys, I'll see you soon for the next ACS Golf video. See you then. Bye bye.